Hi, I'm Joe Conte, filling in for Geno Bisconte. Okay, it had to happen. Geno finally had a losing week in his 15th attempt. Despite the fact he's stumbling through a 1-3 week 15, his record still remains a respectable and impressive 39-21 against the spread. What makes this record even more impressive is that Geno knows nothing outside of the Chargers and dick jokes. And to prove it this week, we're pitting him up against one of the greatest minds in history, George Washington. Now, while I shouldn't be horsing around with what Geno pays me to read his awful scripts he's written while he sits in Oregon, trying to get his Christmas shopping done, toggling between Amazon.com and HammerMom.com. In any case, I will use this quarter to illustrate how even a monkey could do this. Or run the country, apparently. Relax. I meant George Bush. See the resemblance here? And here? And here? Startling similarities. You know what really grinds my gears? When idiot sport commentators say if the season ended today, the playoff picture would look like the season never just ends. Unless there's a strike, then the season is done and there are no playoffs. The only other scenario I could think of is if we have like a nuclear attack on America. The only bombs that are going to be going off are these overpaid, boring-ass dumbbells who have to earn their money by creating a make-believe playoff scenario. Am I watching ESPN or the Disney Channel? So let's see. The season won't end today or any other day until the season ends. So to all you sport guys out there, I hope your heart ends its season of blood pumping through your bodies live on SportsCenter. What if Geno's Picks ends today? The Texans are giving a touchdown to the Raiders in Oakland. Normally the Rats are the first to leave the ship, but what if it's a ship of fools? The Raiders are an absolute embarrassment of a team, and only an idiot would turn down a ticket out of town. The latest defector is James Craig, who would rather coach 1 week under the Raiders' old coach at the college level than 2 more hellacious weeks with the Raiders' current coach, Tom Cable. Cable, of course, was stupid enough to say Craig quit on the team, which shows how lost he's really become. Cutler calling Craig a quitter for joining Kiffin is the most delusional statement since Hitler called Italy a bunch of quitters for joining the Allies. At least Hitler was consistent, grinding out his ground game. The Texans are a team on fire coming off their upset of the Titans, but it's hard to beat a team on the road by 7. That is unless the team stops trying halfway through the coin toss. The Texans are hungry to have their first winning season, and they're exploding offensively. The Raiders are a team imploding, and this Craig episode is yet another reminder that the players of what they already know. They're terrible, and Craig's new job may have actually been a promotion. The only other guy who still thinks Oakland is an NFL team is Tom Cable and Al Davis. And of course, Al Davis also thinks he's Darth Maul. Take the Texans and give the touchdown. Now, let's do the coin. We're going to use head for Geno's picks because of his stupid afro. So heads will be the Texans, tails will be Oakland. Oakland. George Washington says Oakland, tails. The Eagles are giving 5 to the Skins in D.C. Remember week 5 when the Raiders were 4-1? Neither do I. Unfortunately, you would have to go back that far to even recall the team that fooled us into believing they were a force in the NFC East. It's 10 weeks later, and the team has gone 3-6 since. And the teams they've beaten in that span are 7-35 combined. Not to mention, 2 of those losses are to Cincy and St. Louis, who are combined 2-23-1. I'm not saying the Redskins suck, but take a look at their new logo. If you don't know who this is, you're too young to be gambling anyway. Meanwhile, the Eagles are flying high and their offense is playing as well as it has all year. The last time I heard clicking this much, I was listening to a Zulu rap album. Couple this with the dejected state of the home team and look for the Eagles to have a field day and do more scoring in D.C. than Elliott Spitzer ever did. Take the Eagles and give the 5. Now, we have Washington. Once again, tails. So if you're going with George, take the Skins. And now Geno's lock of the week. The Dolphins are giving 4 to the Chiefs in Arrowhead. With the holidays coming up this season, here's a great gift idea. The Starbucks Gold Card. But don't waste it on Herm Edwards because coffee is for closers. The reason we've hardly noticed that the Chiefs have won only 2 games all season both within the division, by the way, is because they either get blown out in the first half or they lose the game in the final minutes. In any case, come to the last few moments, nobody seems to be paying attention, especially the Chiefs. Well, Miami is paying attention and is coming into town playing for the AFC East title that has passed through more hands this season than a drunk girl at spring break. But Miami is a lot less banged up. Just 1 year ago, this team was coming off their first win in Week 15. Now, just a year later, they only need 2 wins to take the AFC East title. Think Tony Sperano and his veteran quarterback, Chad Pennington, won't be ready for this game, and any weather Arrowhead can throw at them? The Chiefs, meanwhile, are auditioning talent for their next year. So look for them to be more experimental than that same girl on her second spring break. And to pull out as many gadgets. But just like this girl, KC may be fun to watch, but frustrating if you're hoping to score with them. Take the Dolphins and give the 4. And now, the coin. It's heads. So George agrees with Geno. And now, double your money Monday. The Bears are giving 4 to the Packers in Chicago. The days of Walter Payton and Vince Lombardi are gone from this oldest rivalry in football and have given way to the faces of mediocrity that are Aaron Rodgers and Kyle Orton. Last week, the Bears beat the Saints in spite of Orton, while Rodgers and the regressing Packers offense gave the Jags their first win since early November. So who to take? Yes, the Bears are bad. Watching Kyle Orton play of late has become painful as watching Larry King live. But like Larry, Orton is getting the most out of what little he has left. The Packers stink. Yes, they mauled the Bears in Week 11 in Green Bay, 37-3, which is easy to remember because it was their last win. But that doesn't mean anything, since the Packers are like those kids from the cool frat in college. They look great at home, but once you get a good look at them on a road trip, you realize they're a bunch of fags. And Green Bay is no different. They may kick ass at home, but they don't score on the road. The only road victories have come against Detroit and Seattle. The Bears are coming off a long week, and they will come out feeling rested and excited as they are playing for their postseason, while the Packers will come out feeling exhausted and jealous of the fact they have gone from the team that squashed these very Bears a month ago for the NFC North lead to the most disappointing 2008 campaign since Rudy Giuliani. And these sentences just go on and on. Geno doesn't even know what a period is. He doesn't know what a comma is. He has no idea. Take the Bears, give the 4, and stop listening to this guy. And now we'll flip the coin. It's tails. Like I said, don't listen to this guy. I want to thank Geno for letting me do this. And if you want to check me out, just go to joeconte.com.